It was a restaurant by the road, and yeah, it's completely abandoned. Do not enter. Nuclear disaster local response headquarters. More than $200 billion in damage. Just after, and then the tsunami came 15 minutes after. And this is where we drove here today, and you could see the power plant from the car. 15 minutes later came the tsunami, destroying the whole coast here in the Fukushima region. This gas station, so completely abandoned. Hello everyone, welcome to another video of Out of Your Comfort Zone. My name is Rodrigo, and I'm here at the village of Futaba, Fukushima region, Japan. Yeah, as you heard me correctly, Fukushima. So you're already wondering, like, can you visit Fukushima? That was the question of the video. I'm not gonna leave the whole video to answer you. I'm gonna answer right now. Yes, you can visit Fukushima, the Fukushima region, where in 2011, 14 years ago, you had the earthquake, the strongest earthquake in Japan's history that was measured, the tsunami 15 minutes later, and the nuclear accident. And the first place you should visit if you're coming here, it's this one, the Great East Japan Earthquake Nuclear Disaster Memorial Museum. So as you can see, it's not that if you can visit, they actually are encouraging people to visit here the region of Fukushima. Why? Because they are revitalizing the whole region, and they want tourists to come. They want people to see, to understand what happened, to learn about what happened, and to learn how Japan was able to overcome this huge accident, the most expensive accident in the history of humanity. More than $200 billion in damage. And I'm gonna show you here first the Memorial Museum, and then a few other spots here around Fukushima that you can visit, that you can still see traces of what happened, the earthquake, the tsunami, and the nuclear accident at the Daiichi nuclear power plant. And just reminding about the earthquake, it happened in March 11, 2011, and first the earthquake, 9.0 in the scale of strength. 15 minutes, so that was the strongest earthquake ever happened to Japan, and Japan have a lot of earthquakes. And then 15 minutes later came the tsunami, destroying the whole coast here in the Fukushima region, and eventually was responsible to cause the accident in the Daiichi nuclear power plant. And then they have the nuclear accident and displacement of people, radiation, spreading of radiation, and so on. And as I mentioned, from the earthquake and the tsunami, 20,000 people died here in the region. But the nuclear accident, actually, only one person possibly has died because of the accident due to lung cancer, but it's not completely certain that the connection it is with the nuclear accident. Plus 4 people got leukemia. But again, think about the difference between how many people died in the earthquake and in the tsunami, and how many people died in the nuclear accident. So come with me, and I'm gonna show a little bit of the memorial here, and then to some other spots. But before I go back to the video, I'm gonna ask you a favor. If you haven't done yet, please like and subscribe to the channel. It's still a new channel, so every like and every subscribe really helps the channel grow. And that's it. Let's get back to it. And here's my ticket. It costs 600 yen, which is about $4. And they have brochures in English. And they have a movie that they're gonna show here. Obviously I can record inside, but it's gonna talk about the tragedy and everything. This is where they're gonna play the movie here. There's a lot of interesting information in the brochure and here in the museum. In 2017, they lifted the evacuation order in Tomiyaka, where I slept today. So it's been like 8 years that the town has been recovering and rebuilding, and people living there again. Here's the nuclear power plant, Daiichi, and this is where we drove here today, and you could see the power plant from the car. Very interesting explaining how the decontamination process works. The power plant just after the accident and in 2021. And this is a fire truck that was destroyed by tsunami because the firefighters, they were doing already the rescue because of the earthquake just after, and then the tsunami came 15 minutes after. So during the mid of the rescue when they got hit by the tsunami. The outside view of the museum memorial for the Fukushima nuclear accident. So this was like a observatory deck that they had here pretty close to the Daiichi nuclear power plant. This is the water barrier, and essentially this is the closest you can get to the power plant. That's the whole coast here, and this is it. This is the closest. Actually, I don't think I should be able to, because I didn't see that. Oh, let's try to see what does it say. As you can see, regarding difficult to return area, no passing through, nuclear disaster local response headquarters. So I guess you shouldn't pass through. From here, regarding difficult to return area, do not enter, nuclear disaster local response headquarters. Oh yeah. So since I don't want to get arrested here in Japan and want to follow the rules, I'm not gonna go that way. But literally the Daiichi nuclear power plant is like 1 kilometer from here. It's that close. So maybe if I was there I could see it, but let's respect. But here, that's not an abandoned observation point that they had here, pretty close by the coast and close to the nuclear power station. So this is one of the places that people usually visit when they are here in Fukushima. As you can see, a lot of signs: do not enter, do not enter. And then it became a symbol of the tragedy, because it stands pretty close to where the nuclear accident was, and obviously the earthquake, and survived the tsunami actually, and it's here. And obviously nature already taking over the building. And there were obviously a lot of consequences here in Japan. $180 billion of costs related to the tragedy, the most expensive natural disaster ever, but also consequences all over the world. For example, the fear of nuclear energy that a lot of countries starting having, obviously after Chernobyl and then Fukushima on top of that, and led, for instance, to some countries completely scale down or stop completely the use of nuclear energy. For example, Germany, that they literally shut down all their nuclear facilities, nuclear power plants, which led to pretty negative consequences. The larger use of coal, natural gas, especially coal, is extremely pollutant, but energy became more expensive as well. Um, and took like many years until now, just now, 2025, end of 2024, there's like a renaissance of nuclear energy, and more countries are starting to rethink the use of nuclear energy, start investing in new reactors, smaller reactors, and reactors with different technologies, new technologies that in theory are safer. And as you can see, that's the road going to the Daiichi nuclear power plant, and it's closed off there. When you're driving around here, you see a lot of these memorials for the victims of the tragedy. Another point of interest that you visit here in the Fukushima region, if you are visiting, is the Ukeda Elementary School. So as you can see, it's really close to the ocean. The ocean is just there. And there were a lot of students here when the earthquake hit, and then the tsunami warning came 3 minutes after, and so they have to evacuate like really fast, and the tsunami hit 15 minutes after the earthquake itself, so 12 minutes after the warning. So that shows, this memorial shows how the life just stopped at the moment and what's left. And as I mentioned, it's a proper memorial museum right now. The ticket costs 300 yen, which is about $2. So here shows the evacuation zone. There's an evacuation path to the mountain close by, right there. You can see how close the school is to the water. You can see here the gymnasium of Ukeda Elementary School, here abandoned. So this was the village. That was the school. Today you only have the school as a building standing up. All the rest is gone. And here in the middle of the tsunami, the school stands. As you can see, the school is right there and everywhere around. And I saw that in other places by the coast. They are just planting a lot of trees. I guess that helps with the tsunami, like would stop the waves. But no more houses actually. They kind of not learned a lesson like in a bad way, it wasn't their fault, but they know Japan is prone to earthquakes and tsunamis, so at least for now they're not building any new houses close to the ocean. So if the tsunami passed the water barrier, the concrete barrier, the trees would slow down. I think that's the theory, I guess. Someone surfing there, and also people surfing here. This used to be the fishing village of Tomiyaka, one of the hardest hit areas here in the region of Fukushima. and there's not much village now. They rebuilt everything. They did new ocean protections, and you can even see from the other side. I will show you how, because the tsunami hit it here pretty hard, and so there are no pretty close to, like in the lower areas, there are no houses, no nothing. I don't know if those were the old protections, but you remember seeing on TV the images of the tsunami coming. I don't think I can pass here. And those were too low. Like the water just went over. And you can see, like there's close to the ocean, there's nothing. Like there you have houses down there, but it's still here. It's like it's just empty space. So Tomiak has been recovering a lot. This is that's where I slept in a hotel here. So they want to rebuild. They wanted to start bringing tourists and everything. I even spoke with the the person in the hotel in the reception, and they told me like they're glad that things are coming back and they want to see more tourists. Like always being respectful of obviously, but trying to understand what's happening and visiting and bring the commerce and business back. They want people to come back here. They invest so much money. Look, this is all brand new. Like all these parking lots, asphalt, and everything is brand new. So they want people back here. They're reinvesting a lot of money to revitalize the area because the Daiichi nuclear power plant is just a few kilometers from here. We see if you can see from the sorry for the wind. If you can see from the house lighthouse. When you're getting closer to the nuclear power plant, Daiichi, you see a lot of abandoned houses and a lot of closed off streets. They don't want you to get through. Let's see if I can make it to the lighthouse. Sounds like these streets here, there, and another closed street, and I have no idea what those signs say, so it's a problem. Here, everything's closed off. I can't go anywhere. I will need to turn around, and I don't know how to do it. So that's the closest I can get to the Daiichi nuclear power plant. I have to go back. Abandoned houses like that one, but now they're all fenced off. More abandoned houses. Most of these ones, they're all abandoned. That's why they have so many fences here. So there are still some places that are abandoned, like open like this one here, like this gas station. So completely abandoned. They haven't worked to try to revitalize and everything, or to demolish, because you can see, for example, that house over there is abandoned. That house is rebuilt, brand new, and a lot of open lots with nothing, anything. So this is because they demolished the houses if they got permission from the owner, and I don't know if eventually they're gonna build something, but you see a lot of those, a lot of just open lots like that when you're driving around. Always forget, like I drive in Japan, it's on this side here, and you still have some abandoned cars around. Not that common anymore though. And also still some abandoned stores. It's pretty close to, because the power plant is just the coast over there, right? We are inland a little bit, but the power plant, the nuclear power plant Daiichi, is pretty close to here. So this is abandoned completely. And even today, 14 years after the tragedy, they still have a lot of abandoned stuff. This is, I guess, it was a restaurant by the road, and yeah, it's completely abandoned. Because again, the nuclear power plant is really close to here. I wonder if they still have the coffee inside. And that car seems very much abandoned. as well. And as you can see over there, the Geiger counter, 1.18. Uh, what I understand is like above 2, it's starting to be complicated. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, that's the Daiichi nuclear power station. I think so. All the machines, all the cranes over there. Okay, that's the Daiichi nuclear power plant. It's that close that you can get these days. You can see all the cranes and everything. Yeah, that's it. So that's where you had the nuclear accident in 2011 because of the tsunami, earthquake and tsunami. Wow, that's pretty close. Another Geiger counter here says 0.634. Sorry, the camera doesn't show well properly, but it's less than the other one we saw, which was 1.18. So yeah, they still have all those Geiger counters around the region of Fukushima for safety reasons. And this is a memorial to the victims of the tragedy here in the region of Fukushima. Actually, you can find quite a few of those when you're driving around, because obviously a lot of villages, a lot of places were affected around here in Fukushima, so the memorials are kind of localized. So right at the beginning of the video I answer your question. Can you visit Fukushima? Yes, you can. Yes, you should. They want to bring business back to the region. They want to reinvest in the region. They want to revitalize the region. And as I mentioned, even the guy in the reception working the hotel I stayed there, they're happy that I was there. They want to see what business coming back. And so it's worth a visit to understand what happened, to learn from what happened, and to see how people are recovering and rebuilding their lives. And obviously always with a lot of respect. It's becoming more like a attraction, tourist attraction. I know it's kind of weird to say that, but it happens. Like people used to visit Chernobyl, visit the Twin Towers Memorial in New York. It's part of that happens. Like tragedies become eventually places that people visit to learn, to understand what happened. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, if I say anything wrong and you'd like to correct me, please use the comments area below. And if you like the video, push the like button, subscribe, because I'm going to have a lot of videos about different regions around the world, about geopolitics, about skiing. Actually, I came to Japan to ski in Niseko, in the island of Hokkaido, and I'm going to be publishing a video about that if I haven't published it already. So that's it. See you the next